What is up, people? My name is Ferdy, and in this video I will compare Elementor and Elementor Pro with Divi. I think Elementor Pro and Divi are the best page builders in the world for WordPress. I know there's the Breezy theme, there's Gutenberg, both are becoming better and better, but I still think at this moment Elementor and Divi are the best ones. And in this video I will compare them with each other on a lot of different subjects. Let me show you on which subjects, hard word, and then we can start this video. Actually, it's already started, so let's continue. We will talk about the interface of both page builders, the elements and the modules they contain. Of course, we will talk about the pricing. We will talk about features that the other page builder doesn't have, about pre-made templates, about the theme builder of Elementor Pro and Divi. We will talk about the support of both page builders, about the community, and about third-party plugins. In the description of this video I have timestamps, so if you want to go to a certain part in the tutorial, you can click on the timestamp and go directly to that part. The first thing we'll start with is the interface of Elementor and the interface of Divi. We'll compare them with each other and I will show you how you can navigate through the page builders, and that is what I will show you right now. So let's start with the Elementor page builder. What you see over here is our page. We can scroll down and see all this stuff. And here at the left, we can adjust things. So over here, we see an overview with a lot of elements. We can add an image, text editor, button, video, a login area, slides, all those things can be dragged over here like that. When we've done that, we can adjust all the settings also here at the left. So I can click over here and then I see the heading. I can click over here and then I see the button, and here I can change the content of the button. I can say, click here. I can change the link to a different page. I can align the button to the right and to the left. So this has everything to do with the content. Then the second tab has everything to do with the styling. So if I want to change the color of the button, I can click over here. I can change the color, make the text green, bring it back. And if I want to go to all the elements, I click over here. So I can scroll down and I can drag an image over here. And then I can adjust the content and I can adjust the styling. So let's take a look at the structure of the page builder. It's the same as Divi. Over here we have a section. You see a small blue line over here around this area. In that section we have columns, and when I hover over here I see the surroundings of the column, the border, and also over here. So there are two columns, and in those columns we can have elements. So this is a heading element. This is a countdown element. This is another heading element. So that's the structure. Sections. In those sections you can have columns, and in those columns you can have elements. And I can also say I want to have 3 columns. So I can click on the plus. Now I have 3 columns, or Command Z. I can duplicate a column. So I have 2 columns. Then I can switch it with this one. Command Z, Command Z. And in that way we can create beautiful pages. Let me get rid of it. Let me get rid of this. If I scroll down, I see this color purple. I click over here. It is an image box. If I want to change this color, I can go to the style, to the CSS filters, and I can change the hue if I want to this color. And now if I want this to be applied on all those places, I say right mouse click, copy, and then over here, Shift Command V, click, Shift Command V, Shift Command V, or right mouse click, paste the style, and then you see the shortcut for a PC if you're on a PC. So that's how it can work. And then I see this color. I can go to the style, change this color to the primary color, right mouse click, copy, and then again, paste it. Or right mouse click, paste the style. So that is Elementor. Let's talk about Divi. Over here, we have a page made with the Divi theme. And as I said before, it's the same structure as with Elementor. So over here, we have a section. In that section, we can have multiple columns. Within the Divi theme, they call that rows. Right now, we have only one row. And in those rows, we can have modules. With Elementor, you call them elements. With Divi, you call them modules, but they are the same. So I click over here, and now I can click here, And then I see this area. This area is the same thing as you see over here with Elementor, but this area has more functions. I can drag it to the left or stick it to the left. And then also over here, I can change the content. Let's make this 8K. And then you see it over here. We can change a link, so we can link this to a page. We can change the background. We can go to design, and there we can change the text style, the heading style, the sizing, spacing, border, a lot of things over here. So it's actually quite the same, only with Divi, you can make it look like this. You can drag it to the right. So if you're working over here, you can drag it to the right. If you're working at the right, you can drag it to the left. If you want to add something, you cannot drag it over here, but you click on the plus over here. And then you can scroll through everything Divi has to offer. It has slightly less modules than Elementor, but you can do amazing things with all those beautiful modules. So let's talk about some differences between Elementor and the Divi theme. For instance, if I want to make this a little bit smaller, I can click over here and I can decrease the padding. With Elementor, I cannot do that. So if I want to decrease this, I need to click over here and then I can change the height like that. So with Divi, that can be handy if you scroll through the website. You think, hey, I want to add a little bit more space. Just increase it like that. It's a nice function. I don't mind going to Elementor, clicking somewhere else. When I change the padding, I rather use the pixel perfect way. So I would like to say a margin of 10 pixels or 40. But if you just want to see how it looks when you change some things, you can do that in Divi, and it's a nice function. What I also like about Divi, when I want to save something, I just say Command or Control S. Right now here at the right bottom, I will save it. And in Elementor, I cannot do that. If I say Command S, it doesn't save. But what I can do, I can click over here. It's always visible. So no matter where I am, I can click over here and I see when it's not updated, it's blue. So right now it's updated. So when I click over here and I bring it to the right, now I know I can update it. What I like about Elementor, I click on this eye, look at this. Now I see a perfect result of the website. I think, okay, this is a little bit big. So I scroll up, I click over here, I go to the style and I change the width to something like this. I click on update and without refreshing the page, look at this. It automatically will be refreshed. That's what I really like. With Divi, you can say Command S, which I like. But if you want to see the result, you need to hold Command or Control and then click over here. Okay. This is when I expect my baby daughter in 88 days. So I have a little bit more time to make tutorials. Imagine she will be born 2 days later. I check this. I say Command S, but what I need to do now, I need to go to this page and I need to refresh it, Command R or F5 on the Windows computer, before the changes will be applied. So if you're working a lot and you want to see how things look, it's really nice that here with Elementor, you can see the results immediately. And if you want to have another shortcut, just say Control Tab, and then you go to a new tab in your window. What I can do over here, if I have a really big page and I want to drag a few things around, so I want to drag this area on top over here, and I cannot do that. I can click over here. I go to Navigator. There I have an overview of everything I have on my website. So if I click over here, I go to this area. And if I want to have this area above the testimonials, I can just drag it over here. I really like it. But Divi has also something like that. You can click over here. And if you don't see that, click on those 3 dots. Click over here. You see the wireframe of the website. And now you also see everything there is in the website. So if you want to drag something around, just do it like that. And then you go over here again. Now you see this area is on top. What I sometimes don't like about the Divi theme is that things can be a little bit cloaky. I don't know if it's the right word. It's a little bit slow, even though I have a really fast computer. And with Elementor, that is less the case. So if I decide to bring this to the top, it happens like that. And with Divi, I click over here and it takes a while before I go there. So it's a little bit slower. something like this. I need to scroll really hard in order to get to the top. I release it. I go over here again, and it takes a while before that happens. But it seems that Elementor is a little bit faster. And when I talk about Elementor, I'm primarily talking about Elementor Pro. Okay, let's talk about elements, also known as modules. In Elementor, they are called elements. In Divi, they are called modules. Let's talk about those. So let's talk about elements, also known as modules. With the free version of Elementor, there are 10 different elements over here. Then we don't talk about the Pro version at this moment. Then there are even more. An image box, star rating, image carousel, all those over here. A total of 31 different elements for the free version of Elementor. But when you have the free version of Elementor, you definitely should check out Essential Add-ons. When you install Essential Add-ons to your free version of Elementor, you will have a total of 78 different elements. A countdown, event calendar, fancy text, Facebook feed, all those things for free. 78 different elements. Let's talk about Divi. If I scroll down, click on the plus, regular, one row, you have 38 different elements, but that's not entirely true because over here, when we click on the plus, we also have these. So a total of 47 different modules. These are all for full width areas. And if we click on the plus over here, accordion, audio, bar counter, contact form, portfolio, post slider, pricing tables, a lot of beautiful modules. And you can configure all those modules so you can create really comprehensive websites. So let's talk about Elementor Pro without essential add-ons. You have a total of 58 modules you can use. Also price list, flipbox, call to action, media carousel, testimonial carousel, countdown, a lot of different elements. And also here you can adjust them also when you drag something over here. You have different options over here. You can style everything and in that way give everything a certain look and feel that is in line with your branding. So when you have Elementor Pro and you have the essential add-ons, then you have more than 100 different modules that you can use in order to create beautiful websites. If you'd like to see tutorials about every single element within Divi and within Elementor, let me know in the comments. And if there are a lot of people that want it, then I can make those. Really important subject. Let's talk about pricing. So in order to see the pricing of Elementor, you can go to ferdycorp.com/Elementor. This is an affiliate link. You don't pay more, but I get a commission. So thank you for that. Then you can go to pricing. And here you see a lot of plans. Let me start with the free version, which you don't see here. There is a free version of Elementor, which is amazing. I have tutorials about it. You can create an amazing website using free version of Elementor, a free theme, and then additional add-ons. But when we talk about Elementor Pro, you can have one website with Elementor Pro and pay $49 per year. You get 90 plus widgets, 300 plus templates, 10 full website template kits. So 10 complete websites. You get the theme builder, the form builder, the WooCommerce builder, pop-up builder. You get regular updates for a year and you get premium support. We'll talk about support later. So if we take a look at the next two plans, those three plans are all the same except for one thing, the amount of websites. So you can have the same package for 3 websites and that will cost you $99 per year. And you can have it for 25 websites, which is $199 per year. Then there's the studio version for 100 pro websites. And the difference over here that you get access for the expert network. You can offer your services there so you can start making websites for clients. Then there's the VIP support with live chat. And you can have up to 5 members from your team that can get in touch with Elementor. Then there is the agency plan, 1,000 websites for $999 per year. With VIP support, up to 10 members that can get in touch with Elementor and also access to the Elementor Expert Network. If you decide somehow after a year to cancel your Pro subscription, your website will remain the same. Everything will work. The only thing that will change, you will do not get updates anymore. You do not get the premium support. You get support, but not the premium support anymore. And you cannot drag any more Pro elements in the page builder anymore. But your website, your Elementor Pro website will stay the same after you cancel your subscription. And now let's go to ferdycorp.com/Divi. And if you use this link, this is also an affiliate link. You don't pay more, but through this link, you get 20% off, which is a great deal. Here, there are only 2 plans. There's a plan for yearly access for $70 per year. You get access to the Divi theme, the extra theme, to the Bloom and Monarch plugins. I'll talk about these plugins later. Hundreds of website packs. So here there are only 10. I know they're making new ones, but here there are hundreds of websites pack. What is a website pack? A complete website in the same styling. You can import that complete website into your Divi website. You get product updates, premium support, unlimited website usage. This is crazy. Over here, for one website for $49 per year. Over here, you can use an unlimited website. So 1,000 if you want to, or 20 different clients you have for just $70 per year. And just as with Elementor, there's a 30-day money-back guarantee. And also here with Divi, there's a 30-day money-back guarantee. But there's also the second plan. And this is crazy. This is crazy. Lifetime access. Look at this. A one-time payment of $199. You get access to the Divi theme, the extra theme, the Bloom plugin, the Monarch plugin. Also, all those amazing options. Lifetime updates, lifetime premium support, and unlimited website usage. So you can use your license on unlimited websites for the rest of your life. So if you would make 1,000 websites in the next 5 years, you can all do that with the same license of the one-time investment of $199. This is an amazing deal. So let's talk about $199. If you go to Elementor, you can invest $199, but you get only access to 25 websites instead of unlimited. And you need to pay this per year. Here you will have it for the rest of your life. So when it comes to the price, Divi has a far greater deal for you. I bought mine, I think 6 years ago or 5 years ago, and I still use it to this day on as much websites as I want. And if I have a friend and he wants me to make a website, I can use my license and make a website with Divi, with the extra theme, the Bloom plugin, the Monarch plugin. I can import a pre-made website and I can still ask questions if I have a problem in my website, and I get premium support, even while I bought it 5 or 6 years ago. And that is an amazing deal. So does it make the deal of Elementor a bad deal? No. $199 per year for having up to 25 websites up and running. That's also a great deal. So the thing is, this deal is only even better. But I think when it comes to making pro websites, having an amazing website for yourself using Elementor Pro for $49, I think that's a good deal. If you want to use it for 25 websites, I think $199 is still a great deal. The only thing is that this deal is so much better. So now I want to talk about advantages of one page builder above another one, because Elementor has this functionality, which Divi doesn't have, but Divi has this and Elementor doesn't have that. So I will talk about that in the next coming minutes, and then you can see what you prefer the most. And based on that, you can decide which way you want to go, or you buy them both, or you buy nothing and just enjoy this video, or you like this video, subscribe for more upcoming WordPress related tutorials. Well, let's talk about beautiful functionalities that one has and the other one doesn't have. So with Elementor, you can create custom pop-ups. So if I click over here on add new pop-up, I can call this one pop-up. I know I pronounce it a little bit weird. I'm sorry for that. I hope it's funny for you, not irritating. So now I can choose a different pop-up. It can be anything, or I can create something from scratch. It can be about discount. It can be about signing up for the newsletter. It can be about cookies that you need to comply with that. It can be a countdown with a sale. And when I choose one, I can click on insert, or as I said before, I can start from scratch. And you can do so many things over here. You can create anything that you can create with Elementor, but then in a pop-up. With Divi, it's a little bit different. With Divi, you can have a pop-up, but it's a standard pop-up plugin. It's called Bloom, and it's quite a standard pop-up form that can slide in or pop up, or be on the top of the website or below or somewhere in the blog post. There are not so much customizations you can do, but it does the job. It gets people's email address. And that's the goal. The only thing is with Elementor, you can create anything. And with the Bloom plugin, it's a little bit limited. However, with Divi, there's an extra theme called Extra. You can watch the video over here, elegantthemes.com/gallery, or you go to elegantthemes.com and then click on all products, extra magazine theme. You can watch the video if you want to. In 3 minutes, they will show you what you can do with it, and you can scroll down. You can create a website like this that is focused on new posts. So you can make a gossip website or a news website about soccer or about cryptocurrency. People can reply to things. You can have multiple authors, so you can have a whole team of people or a group of friends write about a certain subject and create a website like this. And it is really easy to build with that. The sky is the limit because you can just drag and drop a lot of things and make the website look like you want it to look. There are also demos you can import with a few clicks. And if you take a look at the demo, so let's take a look at this one, you can see the result of what it can do. I will have a tutorial about creating a website like this. And it's called Elegant Themes. I think it looks really elegant, professional. So that is what you can create. With Elementor Pro, you can also create something similar, but it's a little bit harder to do. And another thing that I really like about Divi, let's go to all products. Let's go to Monarch. Over here, you can have a timer. Again, you can watch this video. You can take a look at the live demo. You can have a social media counter or let people share things on your website really easily. So if I click over here, I can share this page on Facebook or on Pinterest or somewhere else. I can decide where I want to show this on all these things. And it's really easy to set up and to configure. I have tutorials about it. You can watch them. So you can show it anywhere in the website. And you also can have smart counters. So you can show something like this and show to all your people that you have so many Facebook followers or YouTube subscribers. And you see there are a lot of different options. It looks great. And I actually use it on my website made with Elementor, but I also use this function. So I really like the Monarch plugin that's not with Elementor, but with the Elegant Theme package. So let's talk about Elementor again. What I like about Elementor is that you can have a dark interface. So I can click over here. I can go to the user preferences and I can change the theme or the layout to a dark one. That's not possible within the Divi theme at this moment. But what I really like about the Divi theme, let me go to divi4.com, enable the visual builder. I can use split testing. So over here it says, we bring your ideas to life. Click over here. We bring you lots of clients with a different background. So again, I click, I see the other one. And then I can see based on how this looks when people click more on the learn more button or get in touch. And when I see that more people click on those links using this layout, I know this one converts better. So then I remove this one and I split test this one and I change something again. And in that way, I can optimize everything so I get more leads and more sales. And that's what I really like about the Divi theme. And it's not a possibility yet within Elementor. Talking about Elementor, what I really like, I go to all my elements and I can have an inner section. So I'm within a section already and I can have an inner section with 2 columns or 3 columns. And this gives me so much space to create whatever I have in mind. And with the Divi theme, if I want to do the same thing, I just cannot do that. I can click on the plus and I cannot do something. So again, with Elementor, you have more freedom to create whatever you have in mind. And with Divi, it can be limited sometimes. Let's talk about pre-made templates, complete websites or single pages or blogs. Let's talk about it right now. How about we start with Elementor this time? Just like every time. The order doesn't matter. I will talk about them both. So I open Elementor, close this, and if I click over here below on this folder icon, I can import pre-made pages. If you go to the free ones, I don't know if you can see them, but as long as there are no pro area, they're free. And what I really don't like, maybe this looks nice, but it's only for one page. Well, most of the time you have multiple pages. So if you only have this page, you should create all the other pages. So what I would prefer is that there will be complete template packs for every kind of page. So I don't like this, I don't like this, I don't like this. What I do like is this one. So all the same style. And here it's the about page, the contact page, the gallery page. What I don't like about Elementor at this moment is that you need to import all those pages one by one. And of course, there is a way on how to do it, but it should be better if you could just import a complete website with a few clicks. There are some third-party plugins like Astra, the Blocksy theme, Cadence that can do that. And with Elementor, it's not yet the case, but I have been told, did you see that? When I do this in my videos, it means I'm going to say something really important. I have been told, or I've heard that it will come to Elementor, that with one click, you can install a complete website and adjust the style to your wishes. So it will come, but right now it's not the case yet. So let's dive right into it. You can also search based on the new ones, and then you see them all line up together. But I think there is room for improvement. I do like the layouts, not all of them, but I think there are not that much layouts. And if we take a look at ferdycorp.com/Elementor, hit enter, and we go to the pricing page, clicking over here, what we see is there are 10 full website template kits, only 10. Well, if we take a look at Divi, if I hover over new page, I call this one templates or 10 kpa, why not? Maybe that's a beautiful word in a certain language. Use the Divi builder. We can build from scratch or we can choose a pre-made layout. Well, if you accidentally click over here, then you can click on those 3 dots, click on the plus, and then you can also use a pre-made layout. What you see, 213 layout packs. A layout pack is a complete website. Some websites are big, multiple pages, some are smaller, but you can see them over here. What I don't like over here, all the time, things are not loading here. I don't know why. I have fast internet, I have a fast web hosting provider. These are loading and these are not. Well, if you want to see all the results, all the examples, it's frustrating because maybe this is a beautiful layout, but I'm missing it because I don't see it. So let me do that again. Click on the plus. It's loading, loading, and it's not loading. Why? Why? I have no idea. But what do you see? There are a lot more pre-made layouts. Some are a little over the top. I think you can create beautiful designs with Divi, but some are maybe a little bit too much, but you can adjust them to your wishes. So you see 8 different pages for one website. So what I can do, I can go, this is the weird page with a weird title. So I can click over here, I can scroll down, and if I like it, I can use this layout, or I can click on the live demo. Then it will import, or import, I don't know. Then I can say Command S. I like this layout, and again, I like it, and I can change the colors. And if I want to create a new page, I should say new page. And I say about page, publish it. Then I use the Divi builder. I choose a pre-made layout. I scroll down. Now they are loading somehow. Wow, it's a miracle. Then I search for the layout, click over here. I search for the about page. That's it. And I use this layout, and in that way I can build up a website. And also here, I cannot import a complete website at once. It should be possible. Why? Because there are a few third-party plugins that can do that. I save it. So let's go back to Elementor. I have the Astra theme over here, and with Astra theme, you have the Astra starter templates. So I can select the page builder. I choose Elementor. And based on the license, I have the free license. So if I search for free, and I can search for a certain category, but now I can import all those websites and they are complete. So over here, it's even with a shop. If I click over here, I see those, it's 3 pages. Okay. Let's take a look at another one. LearnDash Academy, 4 pages. This one, 3 pages. Okay, I can import the complete website. Need to fill in a few details. Or I can skip this. And now it starts importing Elementor and all the necessary plugins for this starter template. I would like to see that Elementor would come up with the same thing. It would save you a lot of time if you want to start with a pre-made website. Okay, I can view the site. So Astra can do it. I think Elementor should also be able to do this. I go to the About Us page. Looks like that. I go to the store. And everything is created from scratch. I really like that. So there are more themes that do this. For instance, the Blocksy theme or the Cadence theme. I can go to the starter sites over here. If I hover over it, I can see it's for Gutenberg, Breezy, Elementor. So I can click on import. next, choose Elementor, next, next, and install. So now we can view the website. So now this is also created using the free version of Elementor, not the pro version. But if these guys can do it, Elementor should also be able to do this. So let's talk about Divi. We can go to ferdycorp.com/Divi, or you go to divi.com. Then we can go to Divi Marketplace, and you see third-party plugins, extensions, and themes. So if I go to Divi Child Themes, I can click over here. I can take a look at the live demo. You see there are a lot of different header designs, footer designs, and I can buy this. So that's really nice. If I want to buy this, first you can take a look at all the pages, and you see it looks really professional. Adjust the information and you're good to go. We can buy this item. Pay with PayPal. We paid $25. And I will be redirected to this page. I can download the product. Product downloads. Here it is. Download. So now I can go to my new Divi website. Over here you see it's made with Divi and there's nothing yet. So I go to Appearance Themes. I want to add this as a child theme. So I click on Add New. Upload themes. Drag it over here. Install now. You see I tried to do a review, but I'm more a tutorial guy. So I want to explain everything. I'm sorry if that's not fun for you. Let me know, then I can make even shorter review. I activate this theme, begin installing the one-click demo import plugin, install. Okay, return to the dashboard. Okay, then I can go to Appearance, import demo data. I scroll down, import demo data. I can install a few plugins, continue and import. And imagine if you make a website for a client and you see a beautiful layout that's $25 or $50. You buy it, you import it, you adjust it to their wishes. You can save yourself a lot of time and at the same time help your clients. So that's a win-win situation. And as I said before, you can use Divi for unlimited websites for unlimited clients. So this is a great way to make money and at the same time help people by creating beautiful websites. Okay, the import is complete. Visit the site. Now we see all the pages there are over here and we can make this look better, of course. But now we imported this complete page, not only the page, the complete website. So if I go to the pricing page, it looks really beautiful and you can adjust all the settings and decide which pages you want to use for your website. So that's it about pre-made templates. Both Elementor Pro and Divi have theme builders. So you can create a header, custom footer, custom blog templates. You can customize the whole website. So let me compare those for you in the next coming minutes. So again, we start with Elementor. And if I take a look over here, I have a simple header. If I scroll down, it stays on top. So a logo and a menu with a submenu. That's it. If I go to the backend and I go to templates below Elementor and I go to the theme builder, I go to this area and over here, since I have nothing yet, I can have a custom header, custom footer, custom single post, single page, archive, search results, single product, single product archive, and 404 page. So if I click on the header, what I can do now, I can import a layout or I can create something with Elementor Pro from scratch. I can also make use of pre-made blocks, but for now I want to use my own template. So I click over here, select a file, and then I can choose a transparent header, change the logo on scroll.zip, open it. There it is. And now I can insert it over here. Now it looks a little bit weird. If I click on publish, I can decide where I want to display this. So that's the power of the theme builder. I can add a condition. I can say I want to only show this on a single page. For instance, the front page. Save and close. So first let me remove this. latest section, delete it, update. Let's go back to the home page. It looks like this. And if I scroll down, I get this. And then if I go to a different page, I see the normal header. So that's what you can do over here. And now if I go over here to the theme builder, I see my header over here. And if I click on the headers, I see it even with an image. And then I can change the conditions. So I can also click over here, add a condition, and show it on the entire site. And now if I save it and close it, and I go to the home page, I see it on home page. And if I go to the Get in Touch page, I also see it over here. So over here, I can edit the sticky header, or I can click here and go to the theme builder. And I can add a new one, a footer. Upload a new one, click over here and select the footer with sticky call to action. Open, insert, publish, and then I say I want to show this on the entire website. Okay, so I can say Command E, home page, click over here. And now when I scroll down, it looks like this. And if I go to a different page, the shop page, for instance, I also see it here below. So that's what you can do. And if I go to a different page again, I will also see it here below. So again, edit with Elementor. And then over here, I can go to the theme builder. If I go to a certain blog page, so I go to the website, blog, and I go to a blog post. It looks really normal. What I can do now, if I want to, over here, I can go to the single post. I can add a template. And I can use a pre-made layout. So if I choose this one, and I publish it, and I apply it on the whole website, all single posts, and I go to the website, look at this. I go to the blog page. Now if I click on the blog post, this is the layout. See that? Different style, same style, different content. And I can also apply this only on certain pages. I can exclude it on certain pages. So that is what you can do. And in the end of the day, it will look like this. I go to templates, the theme builder, and then I see an overview over here. I can rename things. So I can go to the headers. I can rename the header if I want to. In that way, keep it organized. So let's take a look at Divi. I go to the backend. And I go to Divi Theme Builder. I personally like this more because it's a little bit more organized. I can add a global header. That means it will be applied on every single page. So I click over here. I can edit from the library. I can go to my saved layouts. It says Divi header. I already imported it. Now if I save the changes and I go to the website, this header is on every page. So if I go to the contact page, it is there. If I go to branding, if I go to a blog post, it is on every page in the website. But there's no footer. So what I can do, I can add a footer over here, add a global footer, edit from the library, my save layouts, Divi footer. I save it and I refresh the page. And now there is the footer on every single page, the blog page or the about page, the same header and the same footer with this call to action. But if I click on new, I can decide where I want to display this. So I can say on a specific page, the home page, I can create a template And now it seems like I made a copy, so nothing changed. But what I can do, I can click over here, disable global. Also here, disable global. And now if I adjust it, let me save it first. But if I adjust it over here, I can click over here, go to the background, change those colors. Let's say blue. And then the second one, also blue, a little bit darker. Okay, save it. Command S or Control S. I close it. So now it says the specific page home will have this area. So the whole website, the contact page will have this header, but the home page, I click on the logo, will have this header. And in that way you can adjust every part of the website. Same goes for this area. If I decide to change this, the footer, I can remove this area, Command S. Then I will see on the whole website, so services branding, I will have this area, call us, but on the home page I will not have it because I assigned only, let me close this, only this custom footer to the home page. So if I click on the plus, I can assign any layout to any part in the website. So also here, if I go to the blog page, I go to this page as man thinks, it looks like this. But if I decide to click over here and I go to all posts, create a template. So all posts should have a custom body. I want to add it from the library. And I search for blog or post. And then if I find a template that I like, I can import it and then the look and feel of this page will be changed. So with Elementor and with Divi, you can do the same thing. And what I like more about Elementor is that when you click on new, and you go for a single post, for instance, there are more layouts that you can choose. But what I like about Divi is that there's a structure over here. So it makes a little bit more sense. This is the global area. If I want to have another global header or footer, it's right from the global area. And in that way I see, okay, the homepage has a different footer, a different header. If I only want to have a different header over here, I can remove this. If these areas are empty, it means that they will make use of the global body and the global footer. So that's it about the theme builder. A really important subject is support. How is the support of Elementor and how is the support of Divi? Let me tell you up front that with Elementor, there are 3 different levels of support. The first one is free support for people that use a free page builder called Elementor. I'm talking about Elementor. Are you aware of that so far? I'm talking about Elementor and Divi. Okay, stupid area in the video, but let's continue. You have the free version of Elementor and you can have support for that. You can have the pro version of Elementor, Elementor Pro. Then you have better support. And then if you have Elementor Studio or Agency, then you have really, really great and quick support. So there are 3 levels. Right now, I will talk about the support when you have a question about Elementor Pro related stuff. So with Elementor, I go to elementor.com. I go to my account. You can be logged in or not, but you can go to the support over here. Then you can watch tutorials, go to the community. You can also ask your questions in the community, or you go to the support center and you need to search a little bit before you can get in touch with someone from Elementor. And also this can be a little bit confusing, like an expert. Yeah, I want to find an expert, but is expert the support or not? This is a little bit complicated for me. So I just want to get in touch with someone. How can I do that? Well, I need to go to a few things, and if it's not helping, I have to say I'm a little bit confused and I don't like it. And I can imagine that because otherwise, if it's so easy for people to get in touch with Elementor, with the support, everybody will get in touch with them. And I know they have so many people working there being full-time supporters, also because there's a free version. So people that don't pay can go and get help through support. Over here, the help center. If you really cannot find it, then you can get in touch with them, send them a message, but then you need to go through a few steps. So get pro support is something to do with something else. Okay, let's talk about technical issue. Okay, it's about how to continue. And now I can leave my details. When I did it the latest time, and also the first time I did it only one time, I sent my email. Let me make it a little bit smaller. I sent my email November 16th at night. And then 2 days later at noon, I got a message, personal message with the highlights, what I could do. So that's what was the only time I reached out to support, and within 2 days, they answered me. When it comes to Divi.com, what I like when you logged in at Divi, elegant themes. When you're logged in, you already see the history of your support. I can find the answer over here, or really simple, I can send a message. When I send a message, they reply really quick. So that's what I like. And also when I was, let me see, how can I close it? Okay. I go to my account. Then I can go to support. I can chat with them. It's really easy to find the support, technical support, chat with our team. I can have a local meetup, go to the forums, browse tutorials, or I want to chat with the team. So it's really easy to do that. Before it was easier, I think, to just create a ticket over here. And then they reach out to me really quick within 24 hours and they help me every time. I had to go to the support a little bit more with Divi than with Elementor, but they were able to help me. So I think the support of Divi is a little bit better also because it's easier to find the support. And you go to the website and the first thing you can do, click over here and say, hey, I have a question, can you help me? And with Elementor, you had to search. But they both reply within 2 days, which is nice. So how are the communities around Elementor and Divi? Let's find out. If we take a look at the community of Elementor, you can go to facebook.com/this. No, just kidding. Just facebook.com. Sorry, now and then I need to do something weird. I search for Elementor and I hit enter. And then over here, I see Elementor 151,000 likes. And if you click on it, you see updates from yesterday and the day before and the day before. And over here, you can also go to the support really easily. So that's nice. If I search for elegant themes, the makers of Divi, you see over here 142,000 likes. And also here, an update ago, less than an hour ago, 13 hours ago, 13 hours ago, you see a lot of information that is displayed over here. So you can learn a lot of things and you can go to the website over here. And if we take a look at YouTube and we search for Elementor, there's the Elementor YouTube channel. Wow, well done, Reno, living with pixels. Elementor website builder for WordPress. You see 400 videos, 246,000 subscribers. And if we search for elegant themes, oh, wait a minute, Ferdy. You see 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. So less videos. I know Divi has more videos, but every video is around getting inspired, new updates or tutorials. So you can learn a lot of things over here. A webinar, level up your design skills. So besides Elementor being a page editor, page builder, template builder, website builder, you also learn about designing, about storytelling, about a lot. So that's interesting. And if you search for elegant themes, 152,000 subscribers, a lot more videos. It's, in my opinion, a little bit broader. Like there are more videos about more different subjects. Not all the subjects are interesting for all subscribers, I think. So I think Elementor does a better job keeping it closer to in the same style. And here it feels like they're all over the place with podcasts and things. And if you want to suck everything up, what there's to learn about Divi, well, then you can watch all the videos. I think it's personal preference. For me, I like less videos, but more in the same style, more on the same subjects, then look at this 1, 2, 3, 4 videos in 24 hours, more than an hour of tutorials every day. It can feel like a little bit overwhelming, and but it's up to them. So that's what I wanted to show you. Let's talk about third parties. Are there additions to Elementor and Divi, and how do they look, and where can you find them? And if I could choose one for both, one addition to Elementor, one addition to Divi, which one would I choose? Let's find out in the next coming minutes. If I go to plugins, add new, and I search for Elementor, you see the Elementor page builder, and then you see essential add-ons, Elementor header and footer builder, premium add-ons for Elementor, Elementor kits, starter templates, oh boy, steroids for Elementor, unlimited elements for Elementor. So a lot of third-party plugin, and they often have a free version, and then they have a pro version. But if you use all the free versions, you can do quite a few nice things. When it comes to Divi, keep in mind that Divi is a paid plugin. There's no free version. So I think there are more paid plugins over here. Popups for Divi, flipcards module for Divi, Supreme modules, simple Divi shortcodes. So also here, a lot of additions to Divi. And if I could choose only one source for both parties, it would definitely be Ferdy Corp /Korpershoek. This is amazing. This is Elementor, free or pro on steroids. Look at the features or the solutions, what you can do. Let's take this website, for instance. This is what you can make, or you can import it with a few clicks using Korpershoek. So you can create a beautiful listing website about real estate, but also selling cars, renting cars, and all looks really professional. And it's built on top of Elementor. And what I love about Korpershoek is that there is a lifetime deal. So you can pay $750 for one time, and then you can have access to unlimited websites, and you can make use of all the tools. So if I would go back to Korpershoek, it are a lot of plugins on top of Elementor. So products, jet engines, jet smart filters, booking, reviews, galleries, WooCommerce builders, pop-ups, blogs, style manager, and it's amazing what you can do with this. I have a lot of tutorials about it. You can find them at ferdycorp.com, and then you can go to tutorials, Korpershoek, and I try to cover everything with tutorials. I have more than 15 hours of tutorials about Korpershoek. So when it comes to Divi, I would go for ferdycorp.com /Divi live, hit enter. And then I would go to the all access pass, watch the video. What it does, you get Divi child themes, extra plugins, which gives you extra functionalities. You can watch this video if you wanted to see what it's all about in 30 minutes. You will know what it is. It's just actually Divi on steroids. And they have tutorials. You can pay $349 and then you have lifetime access. Also when they add new stuff. So I think Elementor with Korpershoek is a great combination, and Divi with Divi Live is a great combination. So those are the two best tools to fit with Elementor and with Divi. And I think that sums it all up. Okay guys, that's it. I hope you learned a ton of stuff. You know which page builder is the best. I actually use a combination of them. I use Elementor, and then I also use a few modules of Divi. To be honest, my opinion, which one do I prefer? I prefer Elementor Pro. And why? I think I'm just used to it. I use it more often. I think the pricing is much better for Divi. So if you are on a budget and you want to start, maybe you should go with Divi. But I personally prefer Elementor Pro. I love the community. I love how they're evolving or becoming better and better. And what I also love about Elementor is Korpershoek. Those two combined, Elementor Pro on steroids with Korpershoek. I think that's an amazing way to make websites. But I also enjoy the Divi theme. I think it's like a PC or a Mac or a Canon camera or a Nikon camera or a Tesla. And no, Tesla is the only, no, Tesla has no competition. Okay, that's a stupid example. So yeah, you know what I mean? You can use a Windows PC and you can use a Mac. And with both, you can do great things. And some people prefer PC, some people prefer Mac. There's no right or wrong. For me, I personally prefer Elementor. But with Divi, there are things you can do. You can not do that with Elementor. And that's what I like, because then it keeps the competition alive. Because they want to become better than the other ones. So they keep on making it better. And eventually, at the end of the day, we are the winners because they make great tools for us. And we can use them for ourselves or for our clients. Having said that, I want to thank you for watching this video. Feel free to like this video, subscribe for more upcoming tutorials. Feel free to leave a comment about your opinion or whatever. Let's have some great fights in the comments like, no, Divi's better, no Elementor. And then more comments go to my video. The more comments I get, the more YouTube will recognize me and place me high in the search results. And then people buy things through my affiliate links and I make more money. And then I can buy a second house, and the second house I can rent it to my friends and they can live nearby. And so let's have a fight in the comment section. Yeah, I know I will leave this in the video. And I'm already asking myself why. So let's keep it with this. Thank you guys for watching. I never done the before in the video. Okay, come on. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Bye-bye.